welcome to Geordieland 1892. Saturday, what a fantastic game. Newcastle United coming out 4-1 winners at Cottage, beating Fulham. And it was all fun in the capital, But, Newcastle United came out, started fantastically. The energy that they were giving out, the positivity, was there for all to see, and you could see straight away that Fulham were panicking. They were panicking massively, and they made some really bad errors in the first 5 minutes, really. But straight away Wilson back, and we knew he would be. Well, I was hoping he would be, but he did, and literally within minutes, moving forward and hitting the post. You knew at that point that Newcastle were up for it, and that we were gonna capitalise, and we were gonna do well, and we did. I mean, you could see that Fulham were agitated. They didn't like it. They didn't like the way the game had started. Willock was fouled pretty much straight away after that. It was bad foul, but the game changer really came when Longstaff has the ball, and he's in the middle of the park, and Shalabar comes in with a foolish, reckless challenge. Absolutely no need for that challenge, but he caught him really badly on the foot. It looked really bad, and I didn't think that Longstaff was going to get up after that challenge, to be fair. But the referee did give a yellow card to Shalabar, but VAR looked at it and made the referee go and have a look at the monitor. He did. He surveyed it, and he came back with a red card, and Shalabar was off. He didn't even protest. The other players around him didn't protest. They all knew that it was a red card from the start. I think if it had been a yellow card, he would have been a very lucky lad. But as it happened, he was off, and that just changed the whole game, really. I don't think there was any doubt that Newcastle were going to win that game the way they went into it, but I think it made things a lot easier for us. Newcastle were playing some great possession football, some great passing football. The stats are astounding, really, just how much of the percentage of the ball we had, and it could have been way more than 4 throughout that whole game. But Trippier, who was just kind of marauding up that wing in the sunshine, he was instrumental, and he plays in a beautiful cross, which Willock ends up headering, and it looks like it's going to go in or maybe hit the post, right across Leno's box there, and Callum Wilson, that man, is there to poke it in, and rightly so, make sure it's in. I think it was going to hit the post, but that was 1-0 to Newcastle, and it got better and better, didn't it? On 26 minutes, Callum Wilson was showing his class again. A beautiful turn inside the box. It was very Andy Cole-esque, really, his turn, but it just whipped up and curled over the bar. It was a beautiful action, and he deserved a goal for it, really. But the big moment came, and Newcastle United were 2-0 up by an unbelievable goal. Miggy Almiron taking this beautifully with his right. Miggy plays the ball to Bruno. Bruno chips it over the top, and Miggy on the volley slots it into the top corner. Leno with no chance. Goal of the month, definitely, but it's definitely a contender for goal of the season. Absolutely beautiful goal. If Neymar had scored that, if Messi had scored that, Cristiano Ronaldo, Lewandowski, we wouldn't have heard the end of it. It would have just been being pounded on the TV all the time. Miggy scored an unbelievable goal there, and like I say, Bruno, he's just, oh God, he's the engine room, isn't he? He's fantastic. What a ball over the top to him. It was beautiful to watch. Obviously, Fulham manager Marco Silva had time to organise better his defence when they were down to 10 men. He didn't seem to do that. He seemed to be very quiet. He seemed to be a bit clueless. on how to rejuggle his team. And the Fulham defence just went into full panic, really. I thought the defence was poor, very poor, but that's not taking anything away from Newcastle United, because Newcastle United were on their game. They just were relentless, pounding them. And 34 minutes, you know, Mitrovic, who, to be honest, looked out of sorts, didn't he? He didn't really seem to be in the game. He sat his bum down. You could see that he wasn't right. He'd obviously picked up an injury at the weekend playing for Serbia, and he did score 4 goals in those 2 games, 3 against Sweden, 1 against Norway. But Mitro, game over for him. He had to hobble off, which was another blow really for Fulham. But the way Newcastle United were playing, I don't think it would have made a difference whether he was on the pitch or not. To be honest, at this point, Fulham had shown absolutely nothing. They had no shots on target. Yeah, Nick Pope had nothing to do. Yet again, you know, 38 minutes, Newcastle attack, 5 against 3, like, you know what I mean? They were just mortaring. They were in full-scale attack. Murphy, who I thought had a pretty good game, actually, he managed to get a shot in, but it went just wide. And I do think that Murphy did play well. I thought the whole team were excellent, to be fair. I couldn't really pull anybody up on a bad performance. 43 minutes, Newcastle go 3-0 up. A great header from Botman, goes across the goal. It's a beautiful save. It's a really good save by Leno. He pushes it onto the post, and it hits the post, bounces out, and Sean Longstaff's there to hammer it in clinically. No questions. It was a great goal by him. It was a rebound from the post, but that's his first goal in 14 months, and he took it well. Well done him. So Newcastle in control, 3-0, game over really, half time. It was game over, definitely. Pretty much in the second half, it was just all Newcastle United, just streaming forward. You know, it was just save after save from the Fulham goalkeeper Leno, who had a fantastic game, actually. He must have been so disappointed with the way his defence played. But, you know, he did keep them, he did keep the score down, I have to say, massively. And it was just chance after chance from Newcastle, really, from the second half right through. But on 56 minutes, you know, that man Almiron, again, Miggy, ball comes across the box from Murphy, and, you know, he's at the back post and he just sticks it in. And, you know, he could have had hat-trick. It would have been lovely, wouldn't it, to see him get a hat-trick with his little smiley face. But he was judged offside later in the game, and that third goal for Miggy was cancelled out. Aye, so Newcastle United 4-0 up at this point, and Eddie Howe makes the correct call to start making some substitutions. Callum Wilson's done his job, you know, Bruno's done his job, and it was the right decision to just get them off. The 3 points were in the bag, and I think it was the right decision to take them off for their safety, keep them fit for the next game, but also give other players a chance. Now, Bruno did come off for Elliot Anderson. He also had a good game for me. There was so many changes at the end. You can sort of see why we ended up conceding that goal. I don't think they had time to really adjust. But Wilson came off and Fraser came on. 50th game for Callum Wilson, you know, 23 goals, as I've said. Dan Burn was magic. I mean, old telescopic legs there. And he really kept James in his place, didn't he? He caused us no problems. Dan Burn just silenced him. But Dan Burn did eventually come off in the 81st minute. and Target coming on, and then Fabian Shaw, he also came off, and Lascelles on. Now, Fulham did get a consolation goal, but it doesn't really matter, does it? It doesn't really matter. Newcastle had already won that game by half time, and the Fulham fans knew that. Now, I would just like to say that a massive homage to the Newcastle United fans who were down there at Craven Cottage at the weekend. Bearing in mind there was a massive rail strike, so fans either had to leave a day early or travel down cars, buses, so there was no trains. But I tell you what, through that game, only thing you could hear in that ground was Newcastle United fans, all the way through the game, singing clearly. It was just no mistake in who was singing, and they took control and they backed the lads brilliantly. So 3 points for Newcastle United. Marvellous game of football to watch, especially if you're a Newcastle United fan. If you're a Fulham fan, I imagine you're fuming after that. But hey, we keep moving on, and you know, when we look back at Bournemouth game and the Crystal Palace game, now I know after the Bournemouth game there was some people booing, which was a bit ridiculous really, because they played really well. The only point was they didn't get a goal. Today they've played, well, Saturday, sorry, they've played really well, but they've scored 4, and it just shows you the difference that Callum Wilson and Bruno make in that team. Now, remembering that, you know, there was no John Joe Shelby there. I mean, he's still out, obviously, be out for a while, but no ASM, no Alan St. Maximum either, and he's yet to come back. And if he had been on the pitch on Saturday, I think it could have been a cricket score, to be fair. But obviously he will be back for the Brentford game. That's our next game, and obviously it's a biggie. It's a big one, because on Friday it will be a year since Newcastle's fantastic takeover. 1 year already, unbelievable, isn't it? So Saturday will be at St James's Park playing Brentford, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations planned to celebrate that particular date, 1 year on. And I've heard that obviously War Flags will be doing something very special in that game. You can bet your bottom dollar that there will be. So massively looking forward to that. So I think that's all I've got to say really on this happy Monday. I'd just like to say all the best to you. Have a good week. I'll be back with another video soon. Please remember to like, remember to subscribe. If you haven't already subscribed, that would be fantastic for the channel. Well, all I can say is all the best, and Toon Army.